He'll be performing at the Comedy Game, Golden Gate Park on September 20th. He'll also be performing at Cobb's Comedy Club with Norm Macdonald from Saturday Night Live on September 25th through the 27th. Please give it up for a man who's been all over the world recently, the one and only Paco Ramos! Woo!
Thank you guys, thank you so much. Tell you a little bit about myself. I grew up in the redneck, racist area of Michigan, called Michigan. That woohoo was a little too early. It's a little racist, a little rednecky. Maybe anybody here from Michigan?
Yeah.
Okay, that's weird too. Awesome. We point to our hands when we're from Michigan because we have really shitty public education. We think this is a map, and I think that's Florida down there. My mom was cool. My mom married my stepfather, who's African American, in the 70s in a white racist town. Fucking brave, man. Actually, more brave of him to marry my mom, but she's crazy. But I played the piano in my stepfather's all-black Southern Baptist church growing up, and it was awesome because I was just a little kid, and he had this choir, and the choir would sing really loud, and they would sing with all the spirit they could possibly muster up. And I'd be on stage, this little white kid playing the piano in this all-black church, and my best friend Jeffrey would play the drums. Now Jeffrey was the son of our pastor, Pastor Theophilus. Now you don't mess with someone named Pastor Theophilus. He was 6'4", 400 pounds. He was like a milk dud of a black man. He was like an exclamation mark of a black man. This guy was so big and so thunderous. But one of my favorite things about him is he could do show stuff. He understood like how to entertain. So we would be playing, Jeffrey and I, and Pastor Theophilus would hide behind the curtains, the alcove of the church. And he would be over here. He'd be hidden in the curtains. And we'd be playing like, come let us sing, sing to the glory of the Lord, come down, come let us sing. And Jeff would be playing. And then when Pastor Theophilus wanted to come out, he would give us a signal. And he would signal his son, and his son would do on the drums, right? And I'd do this glissando on the piano. And then Pastor Theophilus would throw open the curtains of the alcove of the church, and he'd come in like, oh, he'd like dance his way in. He'd say, somebody get a piece of paper and pencil and write this down. Can I preach tonight? Can I preach tonight? And he would get sweaty and sweaty, and I'd be sitting next to the piano, and he'd get so sweaty, he'd be like sitting in the front row and seeing like Shamu at Waterworld, just getting splashed with sweat. And I was like, oh, you're too sweaty! Stop it! But like growing up in a black family taught me a couple things. That there's two different kinds of white people in this world. There are white people who get more black around their black friends. You probably know somebody like that. Maybe you're here tonight. You know, maybe you might have one or two black friends, and you see them, and all of a sudden you get a little gangsta lean going on. You say things like "slow your roll," you might tilt your hat differently, you know. Or you're like myself. I never understood how to be that white around my black. I never knew how to be that black around my black friends. I would get too white. Like around my black friends, I would turn into like, I don't know, like Mitt Romney or something. Around my black friends, I'd be like, oh my God. That is neat. That is charming. Look at that. That is neat. Oh, that is cool. Is that your word or our word? Cool. Okay, I'll use it. Cool. That is charming. That is neat. Twerk it out. I want to touch your hair. When I was about 6, I was driving with my black stepfather, Gwen, and it was like very hot July afternoon. And we were driving on one of these lonely cornfield roads of Michigan. And we were driving, you could see the corn going by our window. And you could hear the splatter and the buzzing of the insects on the windshield. And Gwen was driving his beloved Jaguar. He loved that car. And we were driving and having a good time, and then all of a sudden, the car filled up with the blue lights of a cop car. I don't know why he's pulling us over. Don't worry. There's nothing to worry about. Sir, license and registration. And who's that? Oh, that's just my son, sir. Son, huh? Well, he don't look like you. Oh, that's because he's my stepson, sir. Your stepson, huh? Is that right? Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's my stepfather. Stepfather, huh? So why don't you get out of the car for me? I want to talk to you privately over here. Oh, officer, I don't see why there's any reason. Sir, listen, it's just going to be okay. Son, get out of the car. Fuck. I got out of the car. Like when a cop tells you to get out of the car, you get the fuck out of the car. I was a little kid, so I unbuckled my seatbelt. I got out of the car, started walking, like it was hot. You know how you can smell asphalt when it's really hot? Like I could smell the asphalt in the air. I wasn't scared. I think I was too young to be scared. But I could smell and hear the exhaust of his cop car. And he was back there, big old boy too, Michigan, big old, leaning against his cop car. And I walked up to him, and he's like, "What's your name, son?" And I said, Paul, but everyone calls me Paco. And he's like, "Paco, huh? Don't that beat all hell?" "Oh, yeah. Well, you see, my brother, he said I was a Mexican immigrant." Mexican immigrant, huh? Let me ask you, are you in any trouble? "Oh, no. Is that your stepdad back there?" "Yeah, that's my stepfather." "Oh, I see. So then, your mama's white?" "Yeah. Well, I guess it's true. I guess the niggers are taking over everything now. My mom told me you can never say that word. Not you, not Gwen, not me, nobody." "Aren't you a little firecracker? Ha! Well, I guess you are telling the truth, because now you sound like one of them too. Get back in the car." "Have a good day, sir." "Thank you." Smell that? Smells like rain." He drove off. Complete silence. I didn't know what to do until I got the courage to ask him, "Why do they stop us?" "Because I'm black." "Cinderella dressed in yellow, went downstairs and kissed a fellow. Kissed a snake. How many doctors did it take? 1, 2, 3, 4. See, I simultaneously grew up in two very racist cities. Coldwater, Michigan, with my dad and my stepmom, white. Three Rivers, Michigan, with my mom and my stepfather, black. The population of the black people in Coldwater, 0. The population of the black people in Three Rivers was my stepfather's family, the whites. I grew up in an all-white racist town with a Hispanic name, a white mom, and a stepfather whose last name was white. What the fuck? It's crazy because in the 1940s, Gwen's family moved to Michigan with a lot of black families from the South to be in the automotive industry. Ford, GM, they were hiring everybody. So all these black folks moved up to Michigan. Problem is they weren't allowed to buy any city property. They had to buy county property, out in the country, way far away from all the nice white folk. So my stepfather had his entire family lived on this private road called Patterson Lane. Now see, his entire family was there. When I was a little kid, they had really cool names. I had an Uncle Salbelly, Uncle Brother, Uncle Shorty, Aunt Annie, Aunt Canary. I fucking love these people. Uncle Fats, oh shit, Uncle Fats, that fucking guy. It was awesome, and I loved it. And at the end of this private road was a cul-de-sac, a little circle. And at the end of the cul-de-sac was a basketball hoop. Didn't always have a rim, sometimes it had a milk crate. But this is where all the action happened, was at this basketball rim. Now, I didn't play basketball. My little black cousins and friends, they played a lot of basketball. They were very good at it. Unfortunately, I was a reader. I read all day, every day, during the summer. I never played basketball. I didn't quite fit in. I didn't like Prince. I didn't think Eddie Murphy was funny. I couldn't sing, I couldn't dance, and I definitely couldn't double dutch. Cinderella, dressed in yellow, went downstairs, you know. Couldn't do any of that. I still can't even touch the ground and do that shit. We stood out, my family stood out on this road. Like, it was my mom, myself, my brothers and sisters. We're the only white people on this road. We looked like pieces of white rice in a bowl of black beans. And it was interesting. It was interesting growing up in this situation. But one of the things I loved was that my stepfather, he was a jazz piano player. And he used to have these jam sessions at our house every Saturday night. And I loved this stuff. I thought it was so cool because I had these like older adults coming over to play music. And my brother and I had to go to bed early because things would get rowdy. And my brother and I would lay on the floor and we could see the beams of the headlights bouncing off the walls of our room. And we would lay on the floor and we'd put our ear up to the register to listen. And once in a while, I would sneak down and I would hide a tape recorder and I would tape their jam sessions. And this is one of them. Now that is Smitty on the piano. That was my stepfather's jazz piano player that was in his band. My stepfather sang. Smitty was one of my favorite people in the world. He had gnarled hands from some sort of accident in the war, and he had one leg. He didn't use crutches or a cane. He would hop around all the time. Smitty would hop. What the fuck? That's Gwen. That's my stepfather singing. He could like rattle the house. He never sang with a microphone ever. Just that vibrato alone, like he had such a powerful voice. I love listening to him sing. Now, if there's one thing that I loved about these jazz musicians that would come over, is they would get drunk, they would have a good time, but for me, I knew that they would always lose some stuff in the couch. So when I was a kid, I would get up really early on Sunday mornings, and I would sneak past my parents' room, and I would sneak past my brothers and sisters' rooms, and I would go to the couch, and I would start digging in that couch for treasures. Now, one particular Sunday morning, I was going into the living room of the couch, and my brother Steve, he's like 10 years older than me. I fucking love this guy. Steve was my hero. He was like a hunter. He like kissed girls. It was awesome. And then his best friend, our cousin Ron Jr., was laying next to him. And I knew they were probably working off some kind of hangover or something, because these guys got in all kinds of trouble. Matter of fact, one time they got arrested because they got into a chainsaw fight at a bar. Now in Michigan, back when I grew up, where I grew up, this is some real redneck shit, man. Where I grew up in Michigan, there's two jobs you can have during the summer. Cutting fucking firewood or detasseling corn. You remember that shit? Detasseling corn. They paid like 12 cents an hour. But he and Ron Jr. got into a fucking chainsaw fight at a bar over a girl, and they took that shit to the parking lot. Fucking cutting each other up and stuff. When my brother, he got arrested, and in his trial, my mom took me with him. There was this old fucking old-timey Marine judge that was there. This guy fucking scared me. I was like 8 and I was scared by him. And he looked at my brother and said, son, I see you're full of piss and vinegar. You're 18 years old. You get into chainsaw fights? Listen, I'm going to give you a choice. The Marines or jail? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And before he could say one, my brother stood up and said, Marines! And he said, bailiff? And the bailiff came and walked him across the street to the Marine recruiting center. My mom and Toe just crying like, ah! And he signed, and he retired just a couple years ago, 30 years in the Marines. Life. Anyways, back to the couch. So, I go to the couch, I'm like, oh my God, look at that! Ah, it's a quarter! Awesome! Oh, it's a peanut! Oh my God, a peanut! Ooh, a crab! Oh, paper bag. Oh, it's heavy. Oh my gosh, it's so heavy. Hey, Mom! Hey, Mom! Oh my God, hey, Sarge! They're gonna take the ridge! Get over there! Look out! Look out! Woo! Hey, Mom! Mom, is this a toy? Hey, Mom! Bacon. Mr. Clock, put your hands up! Hey, Steve, I'm gonna shoot you in the butt! You fucking shit! The fuck is your problem? You could have killed me! Oh, fucking god damn it! Mom! Mom! I didn't know it was a toy! I thought it was a toy! I didn't know this was a real gun! You fucking shit! God damn you! That was the last time we ever had jam sessions at our house. Welcome back. You're listening to Birdland. This is WIDR 89.1 FM, Kalamazoo. That was Jimmy Smith. I'm your host, Papa Romaine, spinning you along every Sunday with the giants and not so giants of jazz. Now, as you guys know, this is my last Sunday. I've been doing the show for 5 years. I've loved it, all of it. But I'm moving to San Francisco next week to play piano in a jazz band. So before I go out, I want to play a couple more tunes. I'm going to be taking all requests and dedications off the air. You can call me at 383-3833 here on Birdland. This is Bill Evans with A Waltz for Debbie. Hello, this is Birdland. Can I help you? Hey, man. I love that Jimmy Smith song. Oh, yeah. You know, you're putting me in the alley. Oh, awesome. Hey, is this Kev? That's so great, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's cool, man. I gotta say, though, you play a lot of white musicians, man. Like those Devils, man, they took money from Miles, Thelonious, Dizzy Gillespie. Oh, man. I understand that. I just like who I like. Do you have something you want me to play? Yeah, man. How about some David T. Walker? Oh, okay. I love David T. Walker. I can definitely play that for you. But Kev, before you go, I have to know, what does putting me in the alley mean? Oh, man. When you play those good tunes, I turn up the radio, and my wife says, Kev, if you don't turn down that radio, I'm gonna put you in the alley. That is awesome! Man, thank you so much. You've called in every Sunday for 5 years. This is so cool. I just think that's awesome. Thank you so much. I'll play some David T. Walker. I have a perfect song. It's gonna be my end song, and I wanna dedicate to you. All right, thank you. All right, folks, that was Bill Evans with A Waltz for Debbie. I just want to say thank you guys for being such fans and calling in, and 5 years here on Birdland. I can't wait to get to San Francisco, and I just want to say thank you to everyone that's called in and dedicated themselves to this show. I want to take you out with a request from Kev. This is David T. Walker with A Little Help from My Friends. So, I moved to San Francisco. It's awesome. Played piano in a jazz band, called Psychobabble. Horrible band, horrible fucking name for a band. But it was fun, man. It was awesome. I was making like $100 a day playing jazz. It was so cool. But I didn't get back to Kalamazoo for 5 years until. Thank you guys for coming. I appreciate you guys being here. I know Gwen would have loved to know that you guys were here for him. We're here to celebrate him and his life. I see some people I know. Uncle Smitty, how you doing? Uncle Fats, what's going on? Oh, Aunt Canary, thank you so much for coming. There's even people here I don't know, which is awesome too. Just want to let you know that Gwen meant so much to me. I learned so much from him. He was more of a dad than my dad was to me. And as you guys know, he was a wonderful person. And he was the one that told me, you can do what you want to do. You can be anybody you want to be. Just do you. Gwen was in the 5th dimension. And when he was still in St. Louis, you guys know, they sang, "This is the dawning of the age of..." That was his thing. But he gave it up to raise a family. And I think that's amazing. So I want you guys to celebrate Gwen with me and come back to the house. We're going to have a party and play some jazz and just have a good time. Hey! Hey! Oh, hey! Yeah, it's me! Yeah! Paul, well, Paco, but, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, oh, okay, yeah. I'll dance a little bit, sure. Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, that's... Thing is, we had this great party back at my mom's house for Gwen. And Pastor Theophilus was there, even though he came to get his fucking money. That's a whole different story. For doing the kids, he recited over the funeral, but he showed up. It was bullshit. And matter of fact, when he was going, he didn't recognize me. It's been years. And he said, "Who are you?" And I said, "I'm Paco. I live in San Francisco. This is my life partner." And I grabbed my brother's hand, and my brother was like, But I saw a guy in the corner of my parents' house, and he was crying, uncontrollable. He was sobbing. He was a perfect stranger, right? Never seen him before. My heart went out to him because Gwen touched everybody. Everybody loved Gwen. So I went up to him and I said, "Hey man, like, what's going on? Like, who are you?" And he looked at me and said, "Oh man, I'm Kevin. I'm Gwen's oldest stepson. I'm so sorry. I never came around for 30 years. I didn't like the fact that my father married your mother. But I missed out. Now he's dead. I don't even know who you are. I don't know who any of these people are. And I feel so bad about that." And I said, "Let's go take a walk." We went outside. It was this beautiful September morning. Big blue sky, crisp, you could smell fall in the air. We were walking down the street, and I said, "What do you do for a living?" "Oh, me? I shine shoes at the airport." "Oh, okay, cool. What do you do for fun?" "Oh, I play jazz piano, just like Gwen." "Oh, I play jazz piano, just like Gwen." "Oh man, I love jazz." "I love jazz too. I love Thelonious Monk. I love Tommy Flanagan. I love Dave Brubeck." As a matter of fact, I love jazz so much, I used to have my own jazz radio program in Kalamazoo for years. "You did?" Yeah. Birdland. Birdland. I used to call in every Sunday. Wait. Kev? Paco? No way. You put me in the alley.